everyone, welcome to the HowStation, a place for all how-tos and DIYs. In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I made this lovely Dreamcatcher using a CD as the base material. It's very easy to make and it's so pretty. I absolutely loved how it turned out and I'm sure that you love it too. So without wasting any more time, let's begin with the video. Before we get started, I'd request you all to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So to make the Dreamcatcher, I have a CD and I've removed the silver thing from it, and then I have a 3D outliner, and using this outliner I'm going to draw the thread-like design onto my CD. So once I'm done with the design, it'll look something like this. Now you can obviously draw a design of your own choice, or you can go with this design that I have drawn here. Now I'll take some acrylic paints. So I'm going to use blue, red and green color, and then I'll start painting the CD. So I'm going to do this outer section with a blue color. So I'm going to paint it very light-handedly just to give the CD a stained glass effect. If you all want, you can even use glass paints on it. It'll look really lovely, but since I didn't have any glass paints, I decided to go with acrylic paints. Once I'm done with blue, I'll go with red for this part. And finally, I'll use green for the remaining CD. You can use any color combination of your choice or your liking. It is totally up to you which colors do you want to use. I just thought of doing these three colors. Now I'll keep the paints to dry, and while they are drying, I'll start working on the feathers. So for that, I obviously have the feathers, I have some buttons, I have some beads and obviously a thread. So I have 6 feathers over here. I'm just going to combine them to see which color goes with which, and then I'll make 3 pairs out of those 6. So I'll have 2 feathers each. Then I'll keep these feathers aside and I'll take a thread and I'll take my ruler and I'll measure 45 centimeters onto it. So that is like 1 full scale and then half scale, so 30 plus 15, that is equal to 45 centimeters, and cut it out. I'm going to cut 3 threads which measure 45 centimeters. Once I have my threads ready, I'll take 2 feathers and I'll take a thread. I'll first make a small knot of the threads on the feathers so that it is nice and secure, and then I'll start wrapping the thread onto the ends of the feathers. Now I'm making sure that I'm wrapping it really tight, and I'll just do like 10 to 15 wraps, and then I'll again secure the thread with a knot so that it does not unwind. Then I'll take a bead and I'll pass it through the threads. Once I'm done with the bead, I'll take one button. I'll take the thread and put it from behind the button through one hole, and then put it again from the front through the other hole so that the button hangs nicely on the thread. And I'll repeat the same step with the remaining threads and the remaining feathers. So once I'm done with that, here is what I'll have. Now I'll keep this aside and take my CD. Now we need to make 3 holes in the CD for the 3 threads. So to make the hole, I'm simply going to heat a screwdriver and then place the heated screwdriver at the point where I want my hole to be. So the heat of the screwdriver is going to melt the CD and we are going to get a hole. So I've made 3 holes using the hot screwdriver, and I have made one over here which we are going to need to hang the Dreamcatcher. So now that my holes are ready, I'm going to pass my first thread into the first hole. So now I want my second or the middle thread to be longer than the other two. So I'm going to just pull this up so that it is of a shorter length. Once I'm happy with the length, I'll tie a knot to secure it, and then I'll cut off the excess thread. Then I'll take my second feather or my second thread and pass it through the middle hole, and now I want to keep this thread longer than my first one, so I'll just keep my first thread straight. I'll align the second thread so that it is a bit longer than my first one, then tie a knot and cut out the excess. And then I'll go in with my third thread. Now I want this thread to be the exact size of my first one. So I'll just align them both together and then tie a knot and cut out the excess. Now I'll pass a thread through the fourth hole which I've made on the top to hang my Dreamcatcher. Then I'll take a button and I'll pass the thread which is in the front through one hole of the button, and then again pass it through the other hole of the button so that the button is nice and straight. Then I'll join the two ends of the threads and pull them together so that they are of equal length, and I'll push the button to the bottom of the thread up till the CD. Then I'll add 2 beads to it, and then again I'll take the front thread and add a button by passing the thread through 2 of its holes one at a time. Then I'll tie a knot on the 2 ends of the thread so that they're nice and secure, and I'll also make a knot just above where the beads are so that the buttons and the beads don't move from its place. And once that is done, here we have our very own Dreamcatcher absolutely ready.